Today's topic is inspired by a message we got by one of you, and eventually it was a reason that triggered a lot of downloads for both of us.
We continued speaking and speaking about this. It's just infinite. It's like there's no end.
Absolutely.
We want to mention that our equipment got destroyed for filming and other things like this, and also we are in the village, as you know, and we need to fix the house and everything.
We've been trying to work on this for quite a while, actually.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And that's one of the reasons why we're not appearing so often on camera, especially the two of us together, as much as we want both of us to make videos together, because that's the best.
And as much as you want, because I'm pretty sure that you guys want us to be together and film more often. But all these things are only possible in the real world when it's balanced, right? We came up with the idea that you guys can help, you can support.
If you wish.
If you wish. There's quite a few ways to support. And if you do, we will accelerate the process of, just making videos more often and appearing together.
And first of all, to get equipment, because that's the most important.
Yes.
It's very difficult to make videos without proper equipment.
It's quite a deep thing.
Try to say roughly what the message was about. It was about a couple of years ago that I received a message after a video of mine on the Bulgarian channel, but I think I made a similar video here on the English channel as well, or together, I don't remember. And it was about how to end the karma. And this woman, she contacted me afterwards, and she said, it's very nice, all the things you're saying, but I clearly remember between lifetimes how
it's very important. Pay attention.
I was caught into this space, which we have been calling the lower astral in our videos. Yes. And she said that when you die, you actually go to a place where you're being judged, and the entities that judge you, they will always find something that you could have done better, that you didn't do good enough, that you have to go back to fix it and to try again and again and again.
That the good does not outweigh the bad that you did, and so on.
Exactly. And this keeps the souls into a cycle of having to come back to earth, believing that they need to fix something to make up things better, relationship with others, and generally how you were presented in front of the world as a personality, and what you could have done better.
Yeah, this thing was, well, we were not quite there, but now it makes just much more sense, because we've been, like I said, we've been growing so much psychologically, spiritually, and everything, and now when we look back, everything comes like a puzzle. It's just amazing. And that's why, for example, we can go a little bit deeper into this. Of course, the video will have to extend further into another video, but we are going to explain the base, so you can understand what is the reincarnation cycle. For example,
I just want to say that we have been coming into this gradually, simply because we almost have not read any literature on spiritual topic.
I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
And I think this has been a very big part of going into the deepest truth of things gradually, because we constantly feel that there's more to come and to reveal itself.
Yeah.
But it comes in layers, and that's how it works, because you're not prepared, your consciousness is not prepared to hear it all at the same time. You need to go step by step. And even if you hear something or you read about it, it's totally different when you perceive it with your own pure consciousness, or when you experience it yourself. Because all these revelations that we have been having together with Andre, they're also a result of our experiences in life.
And it has been gradual. For
Yes.
you, we don't want for you to be a bomb. So we will eventually have to tell you this information faster than how we got it, how we acquired over the years, but it will still be in a way that you will be able to understand, like step by step, because it is quite vast. And if we said it, if we have said it like this, you wouldn't understand, because it's normal. We wouldn't understand either.
And most importantly, it would sound very crazy.
Like psycho.
Yes.
So one of the ways to recognize these entities, or just the way how it works, the reincarnation cycle, or whoever is in charge of all this, or in all these things, it's, for example, through the manipulation. Because we have discussed, me and Petya, we have been saying many times that on Earth it's very predominant. When you see the yin yang, you have the sun, you have the moon, we have the cold, we have the warm, whatever. But this extends further and further into infinity. And for example, we have understood that one polarity will always be on top of the other through the advantages that one has and the disadvantage that the other has. For instance, we have discussed, I don't know if it's for sure, but that's how we came up with, that the yang energy can be manipulative, right? That's how we discuss, right?
Yes, it is primarily the yang energy that the cunning and manipulation comes from. And just for you to, if you haven't been deep into yin yang energies, the yang energy is actually the good, the light.
Exactly, the light working.
And all that we are preached is good to do, I just got a download while you were speaking.
Go ahead, shoot it.
If we go in the Bible, for example, in the Old Testament, you see a lot of wars between people. It's like physical wars and fights and proper judgment and stuff like this. And this is where it all started from. And from this, though, the Lord Astro saw that eventually it works better if we are convinced that we are doing things as per our own will, not by forcing us intentionally.
But almost like through suggestion, they suggest you,
right.
Why not take the other route instead? But
they even sent you synchronicities and stuff like this to make you believe that this is your own soul desire.
This is one of the most talked things within the new era community, the new age thing, is that so many coincidences and 11/11 or whatever, and I met this person exactly at this time, whatever. But you have to always question yourself, like, what is the reason behind all this? Because if the reason is like a warm sensation in the heart and everything is going, according to serving your highest potential slowly, slow growth, then it's good. But if it is like a creepy feeling and you're not feeling very good about it, you're almost sick. And many of you will not even feel this because you still did not learn how to distinguish between the one sensation to the other. So
it's
quite
actually very easy. It's just your intuition that is telling you.
Your intuition knows much better.
Always the intuition. Whatever was your first sensation, that is the truth. That is the most correct.
Basically, the yin energy operates a little bit more, not entirely, because we all use both energies. More the body, more the sensations.
The material.
Material.
Yes.
Feelings and stuff. I mean, feelings is more like, a middle thing. Both polarities can use. As the yang, you can be more like intuitive and using more the mind.
By the way, I'm going to interrupt you because I didn't share with you, but
Go
yesterday...
ahead. Shoot another bullet.
I had an amazing Chios energy healing session. And in this Chios energy healing session, we went back into... from where the soul was coming of the person that I was making the Chios session. And over there, things are exactly upside down. So whatever is yin and yang here is exactly the opposite over there. Yeah, it
Makes
was
sense.
absolutely amazing. Like the higher chakras were the ones that were on the material expression of the body, and the lower chakras were on the spiritual. So it's
This
super
explains
broad and
the number
versatile.
8, uh, how powerful the number 8 is, which is a twisted thing. Like
The
it's like,
infinity sign
yes, it's
determinant.
basically it's not a zero, because the zero you are one thing and then you become another thing. It's basically the 8 is like two zeros. It's like one polarity and the other polarity start at totally opposite signs, and then they interchange. They just change their polarity. And I think that's how I met you. I came almost like with light or something. I don't know. Like Jan, I don't know, when we met each other in the astral, maybe?
Not really.
Not really.
No, it
Sometimes
was
this happens when we are speaking. It doesn't mean just because we're giving you, teaching stuff, whatever, speaking stuff, and doesn't mean that behind the cameras we are not dumb to each other. Sometimes I ask questions that are just that,
and vice
and
versa.
vice versa. It's normal. We are not like gods or whatever. So,
No one is.
I want
So
to give an example. Shall we give an
yeah,
example?
but I just want to just extend it a little bit
Okay.
more, the cunning ways and the manipulation, because that really is very big, and you are always invited to the light.
Yeah, it's quite something.
But to better understand it and see it, you can actually see, because we are moving in the Aquarius era now, and things are going to be even more and more on the mind. So the manipulation through the mind is going to become broader and broader, and the physical uh, explosion and the physical touch to things like fights are going to become less and less. Um, and it's because of how things have been moving. This is where I started with in the Old Testament, the things were more on the material fights, the wars and stuff like this. But now all the wars are through technology, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere.
Less personal
uh,
interaction, more
yeah,
Facebook.
we are fighting there, but when you meet this person in reality, this person is totally different, and you're like, where is this coming from? Like, it's all manipulation coming through the mind, and we are all being bought and manipulated because of all this. And this is going to become deeper and deeper.
And even though the Yan manipulates a little bit more, because of the Aquarius, everyone is becoming a good manipulator nowadays. For example, I'm going to give a good example with the niece of Petya.
Yeah.
For example, her mother, when she tells to your niece, so it's her grandmother, I mean, not your grandmother, but whatever, tells, Savi, do you want to eat? Like, are you hungry and whatever? And because she keeps on repeating, she already reached a core belief that she already immediately says, no, I'm not hungry, or I don't want anything, or leave me alone or something, but in a good way. And so because of this, no one can tell her like otherwise and make her eat. She has to come and
To reinvent the
decides
new way.
decide. She has to decide by herself. So I invented a new way. I just did it a couple of times, but I'm pretty sure it works every time. And because it's me, because I don't say much, so she's already like, okay, he's new, he can say something. Let's see if he will say like the other people. And because I didn't, it worked. So basically I said, Sabi, I wanted her to drink some water because we were outside in the
She
sun, it was
doesn't
hot.
drink much water.
She doesn't drink much water. So me as the, whatever, as the best example I could give was, Sabi, wow, this water is super tasty and stuff. And, water is as tasty as it can be. There's not much more than that. And she was like, oh, Takali, which is like, really?
She got very excited. It's like, wow, really?
Because
Like,
we are in Bulgarian, so she speaks in Bulgarian, she doesn't speak in English. And I speak a little bit Bulgarian with her. And she said, really, I want to taste as well. And so I gave her a full, no, I wanted to put the cup and I said, you tell me stop, okay? So I started putting the cup of water. And she didn't say stop until the water poured over. And I guess she wanted to have fun and whatever. So she drank the water, not all of it, but she liked it and everything. And another example was with the food. I also said, I was promoting, basically, I don't need to give the example, I just promoted that how good it tastes and whatever. I didn't say, are you hungry, do you want to eat, whatever. So this is a manipulation, this is cunning. It's just that even through the worst adjective, the worst word that you can possibly find on earth, there's always the good and the bad within. So
All right.
you can be a good manipulator, but for good. But sometimes that good that you're doing is bad, so it's always twisted.
And we are constantly being advertised something here on earth, and this is how we start to eventually believe. Has it happened to you that you see an ad and at the beginning you're like, "Huh, what is this new crap, like it's so stupid, this thing," but after you see it already for 2, 3, 4 days or 2 weeks or whatever, and eventually like you meet someone and they're like, have you heard about this and that? And you're like, yeah, I saw it on TV, but and they're like, but it's really amazing, it does this and
So
that.
you start to buy
And then you start
their
to
things.
believe that it's really good, and that eventually you start to believe that you need this thing until you buy it. And that's how exactly the lower astral works, especially nowadays, and how we are being taken into this reincarnation cycle over and over and over and over again.
Which means adverts, manipulation, nothing this is new. Actually, there is nothing on earth that we are going to invent which is going to be new and never existed before. Everything already existed and already does exist, and we can give a good example, not just like the speaking stuff to your face, is in the lower astral everything, or it is like originated first and then it comes here. The adverts, they are doing this all the time to, you know, which is something that we're gonna explain deeper another video about it.
By the way, give us a comment below if you want us to share with you the best movies and cartoons we have watched that really speak about that in a encoded way. You just have to read between the lines, as they say, watching those, because they are very ordinary movies and cartoons, some of them, you know, and you wouldn't think that there's a spiritual message inside. But there's something very deep there, and if you watch carefully, if you connect it with all this knowledge, you will see how we are all openly being spoken about that.
And after you see one cartoon or one movie scene or something, you just come back to this video and everything will make sense. Like they will just, bind together
Click.
immediately.